I didn't want to remember the reason we hadn't spoken in months, but the memory came anyway. My job, the internship at Hale Dynamics, the one I'd lost because Vanessa told Richard I was too emotional, too unprofessional, when in reality it was her sabotage that caused the mistake. But that was Vanessa's talent. She broke things gently so people thanked her for it. Tonight was supposed to be about reconciliation. At least, that's what she wrote in her text. Come, it'll mean a lot to me. A lie, now that I felt the air tighten around me as she scanned the hall until her eyes landed on me. A slow, satisfied smile curved her lips. The lights dimmed. A spotlight illuminated a marble stage where the couple stood hand in hand. Vanessa took the mic, glowing with triumph. Before we continue, she said sweetly, I want to acknowledge someone very special, my sister. My spine locked. Guests turned. Heat rose to my face. She's had a difficult year, Vanessa said, feigning sympathy. She lost her job, moved back home, and well, she's still figuring herself out. Soft laughter rippled through the room. My throat tightened. And yet, she continued, tilting her head with false affection, she still managed to dress up and come here. Isn't that brave? The laughter grew louder. Richard's brows pulled together, but he didn't interrupt. My hands trembled. Vanessa, stop, I whispered, but only I could hear it. She leaned into the mic. Oh, and in case anyone is hiring, she's very good at making coffee. Just don't trust her with anything complicated. The crowd gasped, then erupted into nervous chuckles. I felt myself shrinking, my skin tight, my breath trapped. Humiliation clawed at my chest. I wanted to disappear. But Richard stepped forward, and everything changed. He took the mic from Vanessa. His expression unreadable. That wasn't funny, he said quietly. His voice carried across the hall like a cold wind. The room fell silent. Vanessa blinked rapidly. Richard, it was a joke. It wasn't, he cut in. And I'm wondering why you would do that, especially knowing I already confronted you about what happened at the office. My breath caught. Vanessa stiffened. What do you mean? Richard turned to the audience. Since we're sharing things publicly tonight, here's something worth sharing. Your sister didn't lose her internship because of incompetence. She lost it because Vanessa fed me false information. Gasps echoed like falling glass. Vanessa's face drained of color. Richard, not here. You humiliated her, he said, his voice steady, to cover your own insecurity. Murmurs rippled across the hall. My heart pounded. For the first time, someone was defending me. For the first time, someone saw through her. Vanessa reached for his arm. He stepped back. Then he dropped the real bomb, effective immediately. Richard said, you are suspended from the executive transition program, and you will not be assuming the director role we discussed. The crowd exploded with whispers. Vanessa's face twisted. You're firing me. At my own engagement party. Richard exhaled sharply. You fired yourself. She looked around, panic rising in her eyes as she saw people watching, whispering, judging, her fantasy cracking. Richard, please, she pleaded. We can talk in private. He shook his head. I won't marry someone who uses cruelty as entertainment. The sting was so sharp the room seemed to inhale all at once. Then, without another word, he descended the stairs and walked out, leaving the chandelier-lit hall in stunned silence. Vanessa stood, frozen, shaking, her world collapsing in front of her, and I didn't move. I couldn't. Moments later, Vanessa stormed across the hall toward me. Her heels struck the marble like gunshots. This is your fault, she hissed, her eyes wild, mascara smudging. I stepped back. I didn't do anything. You've always hated me, always, jealous always. Stop, I whispered. Just stop. She stopped, but only because something behind me caught her eye. Richard. He had returned, but not for her. He approached me cautiously, his expression softened. The storm gone from his features. I'm sorry, he said, his voice low. For everything. I believed lies. I shouldn't have. I'm fixing it. Vanessa let out a broken laugh. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. You're defending her now. He didn't even look at her. He looked at me. I've reinstated your internship, he said, if you still want it. My breath trembled. This felt impossible, too bright, too sudden. My voice faltered. I need time. Richard nodded. Take all you need. Vanessa stepped between us. Richard, you're not walking away from me. He met her eyes with a calm that terrified her. I already have. Hours later, after the guests had left and the glittering hall had grown quiet, I walked outside to the snow-dusted courtyard. I needed air. Space. a moment to understand anything that had just happened. That's when I heard the sound, a choked sob echoing behind the stone fountain. Vanessa. She was sitting on the frozen ledge, her gown pulled like spilled gold, her shoulders shaking. For a moment, I hesitated. Then I walked toward her. She didn't look up. She didn't have the strength. I didn't mean for it to go that far, she whispered. I didn't want to lose everything. Her voice cracked. I've always been afraid you'd end up better than me. The confession stunned me. I know you think I'm strong, she continued, tears dripping onto her dress. But I'm not. I've been performing strength my whole life. And when you started doing well, when people liked you, when Richard respected you, she swallowed hard. I couldn't handle it. The truth hit me like a slow, heavy blow. This wasn't jealousy. This was fear. Deep, choking fear. Vanessa, I whispered, sitting beside her, you never needed to compete with me. She finally looked at me, broken, human, unmasked. I don't know how to be anything else. We sat in silence, the cold settling around us, our breath fogging the air. For the first time in years, we were just sisters again, to flawed, hurting souls beneath the glitter and the wars we'd waged. Then Vanessa whispered something so soft it felt like snow falling. Help me fix myself. And that, more than the humiliation, more than the chaos, is what shocked me most. Not Richard firing her, not the party collapsing, but my sister, the girl made of diamonds and knives, finally asking for help. And for the first time, I reached out my hand, and she took it.